3 important steps to know before you buy a house.
This is Kasama Lee, your community realtor.
It's 2025, new year, new dreams, new goals for many families. I thought it would be appropriate for us to kick off the year with 3 important steps for those who are looking to buy a home. By the end of this video, what you will walk away with is 3 fundamental areas that you need to focus on to have a successful outcome when you are going through the process of home buying. It's proven, it's something that is important, and it's something that is easily missed a lot of times, and people end up kind of working in the wrong order of things. So I just thought I'd just put these 3 steps right up front for you. By the way, if you find content like this valuable, you want to hit subscribe and the bell notification so you don't miss future videos. And thank you for your support of the channel by sharing the content, commenting, and liking, and subscribing, of course. Let's dive right into it. Step number 1, you want to know your why is. Ask yourself, why is it that you now are ready to be a homeowner? So whether you have been living with family members or you have been tenants paying rent to the landlord, why now that you feel that you or you and your family are ready to become homeowners? Because let's face it, I'm not going to sugarcoat this thing, but home ownership kind of causes some discomfort. Yeah, I want to call it discomfort because it's not comfortable. There is nothing comfortable about leaving what you know, making the smaller rent payment, or staying with family members or friends or having roommates, to stepping out and actually making the purchase. It's uncomfortable, but it's worth it. And that is why we need to dig into, why is it worth it to you? For example, for some people, it's they're starting a family. They're expecting their first baby, or maybe they're already expecting their second or third, and they now need their own space. As parents, as a young family, you may need to be able to have that in place so that you can make that property something that you can call your own. You may want to have some specific stuff about the house, which is in our step number 2. But number 1, the why, is the intangible. It's the emotion. It's the goals. It's the lifelong dream that you have. And that's important for you to sit down and discuss it with your family or whoever else that's going to be on the financing part with you, which is in step number 3 that we're going to talk about. So the why is important. Another example would be, well, you know what? You may be the first one in your family that's going to own a home. And it's a sense of pride. It's a sense of accomplishing something that has not been done before. And if that's important to you, your why just got to be so strong that I will tell you this, home buying, especially for the first time, it can be bumpy because there are a lot of things that you're not familiar with that are going to come at you all at the same time. When we work with our first-time buyers, we do what we can to chunk it down and give our buyers the bite-sized information. They don't need to know what steps number 11 and 12 are until they get through steps number 1 and 2. Makes sense, right? So there's just a lot that's going to be coming at you. So it's really important that your why is strong enough that you're not going to quit in the middle of the process, because then why get started, right? If you're not going to follow all the way through, maybe it's just not the right time. So your why has to be really important, okay? So I would encourage you to really take a moment, write that down. I would even put it on the wall so you can actually see it on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and share it with the people that you love and the people that are going to be supporting you. Step number 2, as I was alluding to it, you really want to know what it is that you're trying to buy. And this is the tangible stuff, the specifics, the specifications of the homes. It could be the area that you want to live in. Do you want to live close to your other family members? Or do you want to be in a certain city? And even within the certain city, which part of town are you looking to get into? We do this all the time with clients. Those are the things that we actually, when we do the onboarding with our buyers, we want to know these things because you can't move the house around, you see. You know this, okay? I'm stating the obvious, but you could have not as pretty, as ready to move in of a house, but it's in the desirable neighborhood. It's the neighborhood that you want, and you can always fix the house up, right? So it's important for you to know what are the specifics. The other thing you can't change is the floor plan. You can spend a lot of money and move the kitchen to the east side of the house. It's currently on the front side when you walk in, right? So you can possibly renovate the house and change the floor plans, and maybe you'll get permits. I encourage you to do that, especially if you are changing the footprint of the house, right? Well, all of those things cost money. But if you're a first-time buyer, chances are you're not funded in a way that you can just go in and renovate the house, right? So the floor plan is going to be important. That's got to be part of your specification. What is important to you? Is the big open kitchen important to you, or could it be a smaller kitchen with larger, maybe living room, dining room combo space, right? Those are the things that you want to get really clear, especially if you're a married couple. You will be amazed how the spouses actually have two different ideas of what an ideal home is. And what we like to do is we like to just get our spouses to really talk to each other. We have like a dream home checklist that we send to them and have them fill it out and discuss it, and to see what are the things that are absolutely non-negotiable. In other words, you gotta have those things. In other words, you gotta have a minimum of 3 bedrooms. You cannot compromise and go to a 2 bedrooms. For some people, you gotta have at least 2 bathrooms, 2 full bathrooms, not a 1 bathroom and a half bathroom. I know that we have sold 1.5 bathrooms, and it was non-negotiable for some of the buyers that came through. They love everything about the house except, they just needed that second bathroom to be a full bathroom where somebody can take a shower in it. So those are the things that you want to make sure. What are the non-negotiables that you must have, that you as a family agree on, so that you don't settle for anything less than that, and you don't waste time looking at the houses that don't have the minimum requirements that you need to have. Go through the list, and the Dream Home Checklist has really worked out well for those clients we are working with. So we typically send that out, especially when they're just not sure. When we do the onboarding, we ask certain questions, and if they're not clear, this Dream Home Checklist really helps bring some clarity to it for them. Item number 3, this is important. This is actually the engine of the home buying process. And you may have guessed it, it is the money. Show me the money, right? Here's the thing. Most people, in most cases, unless you're an all-cash buyer and you've got all this money that you're going to spend to purchase the house, you're going to need to get a loan. The mortgage loan is going to be the part that is going to get you the financing engine that you need to be able to close on the transaction. And the loan, we're for the way we work is we're very particular with a lending partner that we work with, especially for first-time buyers or people who are credit challenged or people who have very low down payment. We want to make sure that the buyers understand what is all involved, and most importantly, what is their monthly mortgage going to look like based on their credit profile, based on the estimated tax and insurance and the current interest rates and all the things. So we typically work with a lending partner who will make the time and who will take the time to explain these important details to the borrowers, because we don't want them to be surprised. We don't want our client to be surprised at the end of the transaction when we're about to close and they didn't know about what the investment is, the financial investment is to be purchasing a home. right? So that's really important, and it's usually the front part where we direct our clients who we start working with as buyers to do first. We don't talk about what house is, what neighborhood, and all the things until we know what is their maximum purchasing power, what they're going to be pre-approved for the loan, so that then we can use those numbers, because that's the logical part, right? Then we back that into, then we can get into the emotional part of the falling in love of the house, the neighborhood, the condition, and so on and so forth. So we make sure that the numbers get done first. So really, really important. I hope that these 3 elements make sense to you, and I hope that you take them seriously before you start the entire process. It'll make your life much easier. It'll get you to the finish line with a sense of being equipped, being empowered to get this done. So happy house shopping. Let your dreams come true. Make sure you work with a professional and competent real estate agent and a lending team to get you to the finish line. Thanks for watching.